Hello and welcome back. If you're new to this series, we're travelling around the coastline of England and Wales on our Honda VFR1200X Crosstourer. This is episode 57 and we've pretty much just got Wales left to do. We're currently on the island of Anglesey at the northwest tip of Wales, just about to turn the corner and head south along the west coast. We were hoping to complete Anglesey in one episode, but there was just so much to explore last time, so we split it into two parts. You join us having just left Amlwch and entering Kemaes. Stick around, enjoy the ride and listen to the fascinating stories of this almost forgotten part of Great Britain. Location for a cottage sat there all by itself.
Yeah, overlooking the bay. Oh,
how
gorgeous. Little harbour.
Yeah, very nice.
Got you going right.
Yeah, and then coming back, I think.
Yeah. Oh, which one now?
I reckon down there to the right, isn't it?
To the beach. It says to the beach. Walking. Well, what's this reminiscent of? First few episodes when we were in Cornwall. Very nice.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice little village as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Colourful buildings. There are 15 past and present nuclear power locations in the UK. All but one are next to the coast because they need lots of water for cooling. With the exception of the 4 sites in Scotland, we have passed 8.
To the power station.
The one we're approaching will be the 9th and last. The 2 we will miss are Barclay and Oldbury. Construction of the 2 nuclear reactors here at Wilfer started in 1963 and they became operational in 1971. In 2012, Reactor 2 was shut down. Reactor 1 was switched off on the 30th of December 2015. They are now in their decommissioning phase, which is expected to last 100 years. Oh, I nearly forgot. The one nuclear power station that was not built on the coast isn't that far from here in the middle of the Snowdonia National Park. It was one of the earliest nuclear power stations. It closed in 1991 and is currently being decommissioned, but there are now plans to re-establish a nuclear power plant there.
Yeah, we don't want to go on that. we want to
Stop
turn
yourself
around.
from doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe even in there.
It's very shingly.
But yeah.
Kemlin's enchanting curved bay is unique with its shingle ridge, known as Esgar Kemlin, dividing the open sea from a saline coastal lagoon.
Yeah, that's a lagoon. Wow, beautiful. Wonder what made that.
The lagoon was created in the 1930s by the wealthy captain Vivian Hewitt. He lived nearby and had a keen interest in birds, so he built a dam and a weir at Kemlin to create this bird life sanctuary. Today the area is protected and managed as a nature reserve. In the summer months it is home to the only breeding colony of sandwich terns in Wales.
Over a little bridge.
Yeah. Gorgeous. Don't tell me another prison. I'm only teasing, I know it's not.
Something though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't build a wall like that for nothing.
No. Pretty impressive. Maybe it is a prison. Maybe I was right. Wow. Let's have a look. What is going on? Isn't it?
No clues, lots of CCTV.
Yeah, and car park at the end. Wow.
Absolutely no clues at the moment on that one, is there?
No.
Makes you wonder.
Oh, look. Shell duck. Oh, an oyster catcher just there.
Yeah.
There he goes. And, oh, terns as well. Oh no, they're not black-headed seagulls. Beg your pardon.
There was nothing obvious indicating what this place is or was, but the high wall and CCTV all the way out here intrigued us. Even after some research with the help from a subscriber local to the area, it still remains a mystery. On old maps it's shown as a lifeboat station, but some later maps simply mark it as a wireless station. If you know anything about it, let us know in the comments.
Oh, baby ducks. Baby shell duck. That'd be ducklings. But I don't think I've ever seen shell ducklings before. As you can tell, I'm the nature lover. And Jared is the World War I and II and prison lover. Sorry Jared, I don't mean to be rude. Look at those cows. They're looking for the cool. Church Bay, it said, this way. Yeah, I can see Church Spire. Church Bay Inn.
Well, that goes up to the church, up to the right, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, there we go. There's a church. There you go. Dead end. What does it say?
Church Bay.
That is idyllic. Absolutely.
Holyhead over there.
Yes, definitely. I thought that was mainland, but it's not.
That's ferries, isn't it? Holyhead is a ferry port.
Yeah, it's a big place, isn't it? So was there another little peninsula beyond Holyhead? I think there is, isn't there? And that's why it takes a long time to get from Holyhead round to Carnarvon. Because I thought that was mainland, looking over to mainland Spain, Wales, but we're not. Still Anglesey.
You may be familiar with the connection between Anglesey and Druids. The Druids are a high-ranking priestly class in ancient Celtic cultures. They are known to be pagans, but a long time ago the island of Anglesey was their spiritual home, and they were heroes to the Celts. We have to go back 2,000 years to find out why. By the year 50 AD, most of southern England had fallen to the Roman Empire. In the wild areas of the west, however, the legions had made little progress, and the Celtic tribes in Wales held out fiercely against the invaders. Love them or not, the Romans achieved quite a lot that we still rely on today. For example, they accurately recorded events at the time. Consequently, we have an account of what happened here in the year 57 AD. The Roman general Suetonius Paulinus decided that enough was enough and the Celts needed to be finally crushed. He led his legions out from the fortress town of Chester, heading for a final reckoning on the island of Anglesey, or Mona as it was then known. The Celtic tribesmen regarded the island as sacred, and they had used it as a handy bolt hole to conduct their guerrilla warfare from. Hardly paragons of virtue themselves, the Romans justified their attack by saying the Druids practiced all sorts of sorcery and sacrifice. Wow, that was the pot calling the kettle black. What happened next was described in some detail by the Roman historian Tacitus. When Suetonius Paulinus and his legions reached the shores of the Menai Straits, there was a standoff. Knowing that the time had come to make a final stand, the tribesmen and their priests gathered on the opposite shore. Tacitus gave the following description. On the shore stood the forces of the enemy, a dense array of arms and men, with women dashing through the ranks like furies. The Druids, pouring forth dire imprecations with their hands uplifted towards the heavens, struck terror into the soldiers. The Druids, the supposedly human-sacrificing enemy priests, struck a chill in everyone's hearts, but it was the appearance of the women, wild-haired and all bearing torches, that most frightened the legionnaires. They were not used to facing such an enemy, but such fear did not last long. Urged on by their officers, the Roman cavalrymen swam their horses across the straits, while the infantry made the crossing in small flat-bottomed boats, and when they reached the Anglesey side, their bloodlust knew no bounds. Tacitus writes, "They bore down upon them, smote all who opposed them to the earth, and wrapped them in the flames they had themselves kindled." What happened was a massacre. Men, women and children, armed and unarmed, young and old, fell under the swords of the Romans. The bodies of the dead and dying were unceremoniously hurled onto makeshift funeral pyres. The Romans then roamed the island, destroying the Druids' sacred oak groves, smashing their altars and temples, and killing anyone they could find. The Romans established a garrison on Anglesey to keep the native tribes in total subjugation, but elsewhere in Britain, Boadicea was causing trouble, so the Romans had to leave, but not before having smashed the heart out of the Welsh resistance, and with the demise of the Druids, the people of Britain had lost their spiritual driving force. 20 years later, the Romans were able to re-establish their presence on the island and built a fort at Kemlyn in about the year 77.
Lovely landscape, isn't it? Just rolling hills and little farms.
Yeah.
And the coast,
Yeah.
just gorgeous. And the odd power station thrown in. And what looks like a prison but isn't.
Oh, rabbit. Hare.
Hare, yeah, we got a hare. Wow. Don't see hares very often. He's just, oh, there he is. Oh, sorry, Mr. Hare. Oh, go on, in the field you go.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh, is he gone now? He jumped. Oh, we don't want to be stuck here, do we? Right.
We can turn around at the
I got
end,
distracted
probably.
with the hare. I'm supposed to be looking at the beach.
There are actually two islands. We're leaving Anglesey and crossing the Stanley Embankment, known locally as the Cobb, to get to Holy Island. The Cobb was opened in 1822 as part of the A5 route from London to Holyhead that we covered in episode 55, and of course was built by Thomas Telford. In 1848 a railway was added and the wall to the left was built so that the horses wouldn't be startled by the trains. There's now also another embankment running parallel with the Cobb that carries the main North Wales Expressway. We'll be returning to Anglesey by crossing the original bridge later. Most people will probably associate the name Holy Island with Lindisfarne on the northeast coast that we covered back in episodes 39 and 40. If you haven't already seen those episodes, please check them out. They are possibly our personal favourites. Unlike Lindisfarne, it's called Holy because of its pagan and not Christian history. There's a high concentration of pagan standing stones, burial chambers and other religious sites on this small island.
I think I've got us going down to the quayside.
That makes sense. So we've arrived in Holyhead. Come down to the harbour side, which is where the Stena Link ferries leave from to go to Ireland.
Holy Island and Anglesey's commerce and economy is heavily dependent on the ferry port. We took a quick look and pressed on.
Lovely smell. Smell of the sea. I'm going to go this way. It's got us going up there, but this is the coast.
Nice view of the harbour. We've left Holyhead and we're just completing this side of Anglesey before we leave. It's actually quite a long way round. Well, it is when you're trying to stick to the coast.
Should I have gone right back then?
Should you have gone right back there? I don't know. I think... I don't know. How do we find out?
No, it's not trying to turn us around, is it?
No.
Although it did look there was a brain sign, so it looked like it was something quite nice there. Thankfully, it hasn't happened very often, but every now and again on this coast tour we miss something, and by the time we've realised it's too late to go back. Mostly, it's places of interest that despite our planning we didn't know about. However, on this occasion we had South Stack Lighthouse as a waypoint on the map. As you just saw, we paused, and you may have sensed our hesitancy. Unfortunately, we didn't trust our instinct and pressed on. It's only now, back at home while editing this episode, that I was reminded of what was there and why I had it in the plan. We could kick ourselves for missing South Stack Lighthouse, but worse things have happened at sea. South Stack Lighthouse was built in 1809 and was electrified in 1938. There are 365 steps down to a gantry bridge and the views are spectacular. We have just got our excuse to go back later this year and will probably combine it with a bike event at the Anglesey motor racing circuit.
I know Jared said this would be the second and final part of Anglesey, and we were hoping to get back to the mainland and show you the lavish hotel we ended up at. But we've run out of time and we still have a few more bits of Anglesey we need to show you, including us trying to pronounce the longest place name in Europe. Join us next time when we promise we'll get off this island.